Hey guys, welcome to Copernicus Corner. I'm back over in EverQuest 2 in Greater Figure and just kind of trying to get my bearings as it were. Looks like I was looking for that mushroom platform, but also firstborn collectors near the true grove. Okay, alright, firstborn collectors. Um, what else we got here? Bonfire plants. Okay, the bonfire plants. We need to go over to the shallow pools underneath Elephant for that. So what I'll do is I'll tap in corruption, and then I'll head over toward those pools of water down below Elephant, so that we can try to find these bogberry plants. We also need a flax plant, which is near the roots in that same area. So we may as well get all of that going at the same time. Let's see if anyone's online. Looks like Isaacs is online. Let's say good morning to him. I think it's good morning here. It'd be good afternoon here as noon has already come and gone. So just remembered I may have the volume set for Watcher of Realms. So let me fix that real fast because Watcher of Realms is much louder game than EverQuest is. I think maybe around there is good for EverQuest. Let me know if that background sound is too loud or not. Alright. So, currently I only have room for these three, I think the three greater Buddha Gap quests. And maybe at some point I should go through and make room for another couple because I should be doing more than three at a time. But it's one of those things I just haven't looked through to see what I want to delete temporarily for that. Maybe it's something I could do while I'm running along. See if I have anything I'm okay with. Yeah, like I can delete this, for instance. Pick that up easily enough over in Moonstopper Village. There's a bookcase in Antonica. That's where you pick up the Hunt for the Moonstopper Rumbler. So, very simple to pick that back up, and it's not as though there are people over there often trying to kill the Windstalker Rumbler, and I'm so high level at this point, I would basically be wanting to mentor someone for that anyway, so I think it's not something that matters to me to keep in the journal too terribly much. May as well not have it in there and use that space for something that I'm working on more currently, right? All right. Where are we at here? This place. We got turned around already. If I had only read the sign that was right beside me there, it would probably helped. But alas, it's not the way things went. Let's have another look here. Okay, now we're definitely under Cullethan. Whereas Cullethan is all we can see. We can fix that by changing the map, you know, which place it's displaying. But it's unnecessary. All right, there's one of the pools right over there. And you see if we have um, any of the bogberry plants in there. Haven't been paying too much attention to the roots. Probably should have been. Not the way it's been going. I just didn't pay, wasn't paying attention as I went by this. Here's a bogberry plant here. We have enough room in the bags, so that's definitely a good thing. It looks like Claw has logged in. All right, so we got all of the bogberries that we need. We still need flax plants, and those are the ones that occur by the roots. So let's see where we're at. Okay. Here's a root, and I think they can just kind of be anywhere near that. I don't think this is it. This is regular roots, but this was sled. More there. All right, nothing around that root. Here's a larger root. Need the flax plants. So what we particularly need are the ones that support Pelican, right? So let's head this direction. Pelican is the city up in the treehouse. Well, it is a treehouse. It's the treehouse city, I would say. It's the city up in this valley. Here's some more roots over here, tons of them. Can we find any flax? That was the question. Oh, we've got another shiny over here. And as you know, I'm definitely gonna get distracted by that. No doubt about it. Now back over the root pile. See if we can find any of this flax around here. No luck so far. There's an acorn. We decided we wanted to go up there. It's a natural garden. One thing that is good about Live that you don't have on Origins is the shiny tracker. Track harvestables. And makes quests like this much, much easier. But, you know, I wouldn't want to trade for those conveniences for sure. So that is the way that we get into a situation that we have there with life. And I wouldn't want to encourage that. So there's definitely a large route, I would say. Dark gold, we can mark that. I was going to say Copernicus was here. There's the diseased treants. There's a shiny. You got to get that for sure. I see that there's a corruptor on track, which makes sense. And near the diseased treants, so. It would definitely be good to find those flax that we need and get that quest out of here. Forest sapling coming up on the left. And there's a corruptor beside them. Sound might be a little loud on that, not sure. Let me know if you guys have any trouble hearing me over that. Got some more corruptors on track. I'm hand in hand with this shiny here. We only need 3 more of those. And then we can turn this quest in at least. I don't know that I necessarily want to yet. I think I'd rather go ahead and get this flax if I can find it. I only need 2 more of them. Both corruptors and the flax for that matter. So we got the bags from Matsy. You got another thing we can mark it over here. Let's do that because it's just kind of irresistible. And in fact, it's quest. This mushroom is decayed quite a bit. This is definitely something Dala would be interested in seeing. So let's take a scraping for Dala and accept this quest. You scrape off some of the decaying mushroom flesh and store it for safekeeping. Very nice. Good thing I deleted that Windstock Rumble quest so that I didn't pick it up without having to figure out what to do in that regard. We have here an unearthed tart beta truffle. Let's see what's going on here. It's another quest. So now we'll figure out what more can I delete right now. This is a quest. It's a signature quest in Butcher Block Mountains. I don't really want to delete that. Definitely don't want to delete the Morton family quest, which I've already started. Those are a couple of heritage quests, the recipe of the Greenwoods and training as a shield. Definitely want to keep those. Now we have this fundraiser number 2. This is to make or obtain a tailored broadcloth cap. I think I'm going to go ahead and delete that one. I can go pick it up again very easily in the Enchanted Lands. So we'll delete that. We'll pick this up for the truffles to Thekela there. Right? And we have over here on our map a blinky book to turn in. And I think that is, that's Gala. Couldn't remember the name. I knew it was one of these fairies. All right, so here is Dalavira, who says, I found a decaying mushroom in Chant Grove. I thought you might be interested in it.
Oh, most certainly. This will definitely help us. Thank you. Please, take this coin.
You're welcome. All right, now I note that there's a dude over here with a quest, so we may as well come grab that while we're in here.
What's up?
What would you like more information about? He says. Well, I don't want your quest because you are a citizenship quest, and I don't want to be a healthy citizen. I'm happy with my Phoenician citizenship. Thank you very much. Alright, now, should return these bags to Montseer, perhaps. And also, still need these flax bits. Nothing doing there. Let's see, I think I'm gonna go this direction. And try to go up on that hill and look around a fifth. Seems like a solid plan. These saplings here are treants, and they do count for the treant Northern Legends. Since you have that quest, you can come and beat up on these little baby treants here in Greater Fadar, and very soon you'll have everything you need as far as the treant Northern Legend goes. So, nice, easy way to get that quest knocked out. I'm also, I think I'm supposed to be looking for, yes, a mushroom platform as well. And the mushroom platform, it says, is west of Camp Utah. I don't know where Camp Utah is. It makes it difficult for me to know where west of it is. I probably should know. I'm terrible at it. And I could use the map. And, you know, you can just mouse over things and see what they are. Easy enough. And I could filter it to do that. But I figured I'd do this the more grueling way for funsies, you know. Just, you know, who needs shortcuts? Ah, there we go. There's some flies. Hanging out by this root right here. And that's all I need for that. Now, if I go up this lift here, I should be able to turn that in. I don't think there's anything over in this area, other than turn-ins that I have left. I'm not 100% sure of that, but I think that's accurate. So we'll just wait for this guy. Then we'll go up there and turn into Traeger, and maybe throw some stuff on the broker pretty much just to get it out of my bags so that I have a little bit of room because I'm running low, as is my norm. And so we'll ride this little acorn up. There are a few different acorn lifts that'll take you up into Calithan. And there's also one ramp. For the longest time, I didn't know about the ramp. I only knew about these acorn lifts, which was very nice to find out about the ramp. But waiting on these acorns can be a little bit frustrating at times. Now, what I've done is, rather than try to navigate this horrible place, I just went onto the map and found the blinky book that is Traeger, clicked him, and then it does a waypoint over to where he's at, so I can just follow this yellow wisp, and you lead me right to him. So that's a benefit for sure of, I guess, an in-game helpful tool that you can use. Alright, so I'm going to stop the broker on the way by and just toss some things into a share buckets. Just pick that up. I don't know if I have anything that'll go in, but this is an armor and shield rack. That might go. Don't know if this will. No, it won't. Let's see if we have any jewelry pieces that you can stick in there. I don't think so. Weapons, I mean, maybe. Scrolls, yeah. I mean, I can throw these in there for storage. And that'll clear up actually quite a bit of room. So we'll just toss in. These are all Enigma transmutings. And so we'll just toss them on there so we don't have to carry them around right now. And then I can sort my bags and not have to worry as much about filling up with things while I'm out and about. Not that I don't have to worry at all about it, because as you can see, I don't even have one full bag open right now. But it's not as bad as it could be. Alright, here we have Traeger Vertigreen. Vertigreen, very nice. Alright.
Have you gotten the plant materials?
Yes, here they are.
Good job. This is enough for me to get started. Mainly what I need to do is make enough rope to tie together the boxes that I'll be sending out.
Where are you sending things?
Quite a distance away, actually. There are new markets opening up overseas now that trade routes are re-established. I've been stocking up on local handicrafts and hope that they'll earn quite a profit.
Can I see some of the items?
Funny you should ask that. I was wondering if you'd be interested in helping me out one more time. I have some items that I need to pick up here and there around Calithan. While I'm making my ropes, would you mind going out to get them together?
Not at all.
That's great. You've been very helpful. I'm sure that these items are ready. It's just a matter of telling the merchants supplying me that you're working for me.
I'll be back. Alright, now we can select what kind of things we want here. And in addition to obviously getting things that you might need, at this point, I'm very much over-leveled. I don't know if I'll be able to transmute them or not, but you can always look at them and see what you think of them visually, right? So you got those, you got these. These are the Calithan linen sandals. These are the Calithan plate boots. And so you can pick whichever ones you like visually if you're not going to use them for anything else. And then, here, let me get a close-up here. Alright, so these are the Calithan chain boots, followed by the Calithan leather sandals, Calithan linen sandals, and Calithan plate boots. I kind of like the linen sandals, I guess, if I had to make a choice visually. So I'm going to grab those, and then I'm going to see if I can transmute them, because that's honestly what I want to do with them. So, we will check and see what, if anything, out of all these items in my bags, I can transmute. Looks like I can transmute the short pike of the Gillywumps. That was a quest reward, so let's go ahead and do that, because the goal, again, is really to get transmuting up, or that's one of the goals. So let's transmute this. I'm still very low level as a transmuter, so I've got to get things of this kind of, of this kind of level in order to be able to level it up. So that's all I could transmute out of these items, unfortunately. Let's sort the bags again. And if worst comes to worst, I can take these boots, and since I can't use them for anything else, I could either put them into my appearance, or I could put them into my wardrobe. And if you have them in your wardrobe, you can throw things on later on. And in fact, again, it's not the worst idea. So if you like the looks of something, or if you just don't want to necessarily just throw things away or sell it for a tiny price, then it's a way you can do that. And if you then later on ever want to have a certain look, you can just come into the wardrobe and throw that stuff on. For me, I think I'm not very interested in doing that right now, so out of here I go. And let's look at this quest from Zephyr Violet Hair. So we got Traeger Verdigreen and Zephyr Violet Hair. They match up well enough. She says, "Hi, do you have a moment to help me out?" I say, "I might." She says, "My family has always lived in Kelethin, and I'd like to honor their memories. The problem I'm having is those darn orcs. They send out their scouts and disrupt me at my prayers. I'd like to have them cleared out so that I can finish the ritual to honor my ancestors in peace." I say I'd be glad to help. And then we get this level 7 quest called Clearing the Way. She says, "Could you? That's great. Though the fair doll are not as prominent here as we once were, we still keep to the old ways as much as we can. You have no idea what your help means to me." And I say, "I'll do my best." Alright. That's all you can hope for, guys. My best is the best I've got. Alright. She wants us to go kill some orcs down there. Because, you gotta kill all the things in the area so that you can really pay attention to those prayers, right? Alright, now, here we are, talking to Lilia Posey, the sage. She says, "Are you looking for something?" I say, "Yes. Traeger Verdigreen has sent me to ask about the items you're providing him for his merchant business." She says, Traeger. "Ah, yes. I've been holding several local books for him. He's welcome to come retrieve them at any time." I say, "I'll let him know." Now that's cool because, we could have just picked it up while we were here, but nah. Send that guy. Alright, so, we got that. That was the first thing. Then we've got Merchant Fulala, near the Kelethin First Regional Bank. That shouldn't be too far from us either. And Merchant Pinehurst Deadleaf. The third is on the platform between Kelethin First Regional Bank and Gerhardt's Forge. So, cool. Don't know where those things are. So, I shan't worry about it too much. I'm just going to throw on track. And then I'm just going to type in FALL, and that'll give us Falala when we get close to them. I think it's this direction, so we'll just kind of go this way in general. I remember running by it on the way here from the other side, obviously, which, yeah. And there is Merchant Fulala, and it turns out we didn't need track because the big old book over the head was an indication. She says, "Hello." I say, Traeger Verdigreen asked me to confirm if your items will be ready for him." She says, "Yes, I'm quite ready. He can't start his business soon enough." I say, "Thanks for the information." Alright, very helpful. And then we have Merchant Pinehurst Deadleaf the third. So we're going to type in Pine and have this lead us right over to him. So he's right here on this bridge. Oh, there it is, up there. Up there at the top with a book over his head. He's the munitions specialist. He says yes. I say, Traeger Verdigris sent me to ask about the items you're providing him with. He says, what about them? I say, are they ready? He says, maybe they are, maybe they aren't. How do I know that Traeger really sent you? You're working for the competition. I say, why don't you trust me? He says, I don't trust anyone, but I suppose it makes no difference who really sent you. I have everything Traeger requested. I say, thanks. Well, there you go. Now, nice guy that he is, he sent us on our way. And then we can head back over toward Traeger, which I think I'm going the wrong way. Yeah. Yep. So, we'll actually go toward Traeger rather than away from Traeger, hopefully. Yes, managing it. Wonderful. Alright, so we're running right alongside Ceres here. Hopefully he's not as lost as I am, but you never know. I think Traeger's right up here in this building, yes. Okay, excellent, excellent. I managed to remember a thing for whole seconds. Wonderful. Alright, Traeger Verdigris says...
Have you spoken with the merchants yet?
Yes, I have.
That's a real time saver for me. There's just one last thing you could do for me if you don't mind.
What?
I'm devising a symbol for my business. You know, something that will really make it stand out from the rest. If you could take this drawing over to Cicera the tailor near Gearhart's Forge, I'd really appreciate it. She's making a banner for me.
Sounds simple enough.
This would be the last thing I ask of you, I promise. After you've dropped off the drawing, stop back by and I'll pay you for the work. Really, you've been a great help to me.
No problem. Alright, now we're going to accept this Verdigris earring and see if we can transmute it. Nope, not transmutable. Cool. However, we can go back this way and try to find this individual. Looks like they're down there with a blinky book over their heads, making things a little bit simpler. If I had followed the wisp more closely, it would have been a lot faster than me going my own way. I just felt tempted to go jump off or something. I see them over there with a book over their head. So here we have Cicera Fallenleaf, who says hello. I say Traeger Verdigris sent me over with this drawing for his banner. She says, that's great. I'll get right to work on it. If you wouldn't mind taking back this sample patch I made earlier. It won't work with his new design, but maybe he can think of something useful to do with it. Thank you. I say, you're welcome. Yeah, you know, it's interesting. I didn't say that I would do it. She's already was thanking me at it before I even committed. She's just like, oh yeah, of course you're gonna do it. Me being the fool that I am is just like, yeah, absolutely. Just hand me your stuff and I'll go do that. Okay, going this way. And now back over to Trader Verdigris.
Did Cicera like the drawing?
Yes, she's getting started on it soon.
If you ever need a work reference around here, just ask. In fact, why don't you run over to see my friend Whittier? He's a treant. You can usually find him on one of the platforms near Jolina's restaurant. He might be able to use you.
Thanks, and my bouquet's back. Now we're going to accept his reward of 1 silver and 8 copper. And it wants me to go talk to a treant near Jolina's restaurant. Suppose I can perhaps go do that. Actually, what I can do is run along with my map open, and maybe I can see somebody blinking on it with quests along the way. That being said, I'm prone to falling off of things whenever I'm not paying attention in this game. So, there's a distinct possibility that instead of doing that, I may very well just fall off of the city. You never know with me. It's 50-50 shot, really. Oh yes, this is a quest right here. Pick up. Actually, this one's a status board. So this one just tells you how many. It's your Slayer status, so it tells you how many of each type of creature that you've killed, of some of these particularly lore and legend types of creatures. So, always a fun thing to do. There are. Oh, there he is, Whittier. There are some achievements you can get from doing that. Alright, Whittier says,
Nothing like living high amongst the branches, eh?
I say, trigger verdigris suggested I speak with you.
Of course you should. Everyone should. But folks these days are more interested in themselves than in others. Even the Fae have changed, and not entirely for the better.
What do you mean?
Don't let my rugged good looks fool you. I've got more rings than a jewelry store. In the old days, the Fae would always stop to heal me. Now, you see, I have this scab forming on this branch, and nobody has yet stopped to take a look. Is that progress? Or something else?
Let me see. Wow, that's a pretty deep cut. How'd it happen?
One of those pesky little cats prancing around the platforms thought I might make a good scratching post.
Oh, there's one right here.
One moment I'm asleep. Next moment I'm full of scratches and oozing sap everywhere. Most unpleasant.
What can I do to help you?
Once the bark heals up, it'll callus up nicely. What you need to do is pay attention. Don't become all self-important and busy. Talk to folks, learn about them, and accept them for what they are. That's what you should do.
I see. Well, thanks for your time.
Did I say I was done? That's the trouble with folks these days. They run around when there's only two main things to do. On one branch, there's healing. On the other branch, there's self-defense.
Is there a way to learn more about self-defense?
Just take a little tour beneath Kelethin. When I was a sapling, I used to walk all around Greater Fadark and get into scraps. You should try it. It'll toughen your bark. It'll make a man out of you. Or a woman. Or whatever you are. You non-deciduous folk all look alike. If you don't run screaming to the nearest guard, you'll learn some self-defense.
That sounds reasonable. Alright, so now it wants me to run around down there and, visit certain locations. So we got Lesser Fadark Road, Lopen Plains Road, Sapling Spur, Underwood Road, and Orc Hill. But I don't know that I'm that interested in doing that specifically when I could instead choose the wrong map. Oh no, there we are. That's the one I want. And go. Oh, look at that. There's somebody. Oh no, that's the Pelican citizenship quest. I don't want that. We do need to go get the orcs on Orc Hill. I forgot about that. So we may as well go do that. And I figure as we do these quests, we'll most likely run across the locations mentioned on Whittier's Wisdom. So there's no reason to go out of our way for that specifically. Right now, I feel like Orc Hill is a great place to head. Other than that, we have to bring a truffle to Tequila and return guides to Monsieur. We also need to find that mushroom platform that I'd completely forgotten about. So, wonderful. There's one of the orcs in question. He's tied to that treant sapling right there. Don't need the orc smuggler requisition. That is for the orc language. When you're learning it, you get those requisitions. I already have the language, so I don't need that. Let's see, I need 3 more, so this group ought to do that handful enough. Alright, so except for Violet Hair is the one right by Traeger at the top of the lip. Not really necessarily where I want to go. I first want to come up here and make sure to get this update. There we go. Worktail, got that. Now we will head back over to Traeger, ideally. And let's grab this shiny on the way. And then you can jump off of this and see about getting that safe file up a little bit, hopefully. You never know if it'll work or not. It did that time, 178 out of 235. Alright, now, I think where I'm going is the old California acorn lip, which should be this direction. But we have the tequila gillywump over here. So, on the way, we're going to grab her update, but first, the shiny. Alright, Tequila says,
Hello again.
and I say, I found this. I thought you might be interested.
A tart Faydark truffle. Amazing. Where did you find it?
I found it in the Chant Grove.
Oh, I'm honored you thought of me. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. And I take the 1 silver and 61 copper that she gives us in return for that gift. Giving a gift for a gift. Don't know about it. Okay, now, where are we? We're here. We need to go over to Zephyr. Now she's going to be at the top of the lift. So, Ideally, what you do is you don't fall in the water. That's the first step. But fortunately, it was just a mere sapling. Easy to get out of that little water hole there. There is a note, a mushroom platform over here. I can't imagine that it's the mushroom platform that we need, but since we're here and it's there, I'm going to go up and make sure. So it would just be a shame to run by it and miss our update. I'm pretty sure this isn't it. I don't think that this would be described as being atop the mushroom platform on a tree just west of Camp Rooftop. Feels unlikely, but here we are. Unsurprisingly, no go with that. Alright, let's see here. Which direction are things? Okay, yes, very good. This is the one. And there's the lift right there. So, yes. In fact, I'd like to try to make it. So let's make sure we do. Sprint. And now we're to the part where we stand and patiently wait. Alright, made it to the top. We can pop out and go run to this first building to the left. I believe that's where our person is. And so this is Zephyr Violet here.
Salutations.
She says, have you dealt with those awful orcs? I say, yes, I have. She says, may Tunar bless you. May Tunar bless you. I know these coins aren't much, but they're all I have. You see, she says that, but you may also notice that she obviously has some other things as well. We're going to accept this, and we're going to say, no problem. I'm glad to help. And now we have a couple of pieces that perhaps we can blow up. We can blow one of them up. That's very good. Very good. Transmute this thing here, which gives us a lapis lazuli fragment. But still no skill ups in transmuting arena. Which, by the way, let's check and see where we're at there. Transmuting is going to be here in the trade skill tab. So you first go to skills, then you go to trade skill. Transmuting is the very last thing at the bottom. We have 10 out of 250. Now, as I recall, the way that you would do this to figure out what level you're at is you would divide by 5 and then add 5 to whatever that is. So we divide 10 by 5, and of course we get 2. We add 5, and that's 7. So that would mean that I can transmute up to level 7 items right now, which is perhaps one of the reasons that I can't transmute some of this stuff. Perhaps it's too low. In fact, I can now transmute the cleansed orb that I couldn't transmute earlier. So let's go ahead and transmute that, and then see if there are some other things that have unlocked. Got some Ultron powder. Okay, so level 3, I would be able to do it, so that just isn't transmutable. 4, same kind of deal. 8, we don't know. 4, no. So, some of the things are in fact higher level than I can transmute, and then some of them are just not transmutable. I don't want to transmute Noggin Sparks Wonders to Medieval, because that has some very mild benefits to it. Okay, and this is a level 5 item, so it too will just not be transmutable. Alright, cool. That's where we're at. Still at level 10, transmute up to level 7. Alright, speaking to her again, she says, Harnicky, do you think you could spare time to help me once again? I say, yes. What do you need help with? She says, I've been working on an antidote to the poisonous bite of the underwood crawler. They're a type of centipede that lives beneath Kellethan. With so many new faces around, I guess they're sensing fresh blood and are becoming quite a nuisance. I say, I'd be glad to help. She says, thank you so much. All you need to do is bring me their fangs. I'll drain the poison out and mix the antidote if necessary. I say I'll get right on that. Alright, so, getting right on that, we have to go down and find some of these aforementioned underwood crawlers. And so, what I'm going to do, as you may guess, is type that in to my track window and desperately try to find underwood crawlers. I'm so unfamiliar constantly with Greater Fate Arc that I can't tell you exactly where they are, but there's one right here. No, not there. Behind me. Behind me. The big spider crawling ahead of me was not an underwood crawler at all. We do have, however, a shiny. That's even better than underwood crawler. Wow, looks like they are up the ramp. It says in the write-up that it is between the Granite Hills and Green Knoll. I have some vague knowledge of where Green Knoll is, but I don't know where really the Granite Hills is, so those instructions were not as useful as they could otherwise have been. Fortunately, track is useful, and helped me when I need it. For some reason, even though in the description, in the storyline, it mentioned them being centipedes, I in my heart was thinking of them as spiders. Just it feels like spiders when it says underwood crawler. Oh, that was just me. So we only need 2 more of those, and then we'll be done with that that part of the quest. There's 1 more. And then let's see if there's another one here somewhere. Oh, there it is. Very nice. I see that there's a shiny over here too, which is also phenomenal. Now we must go back over to Zephyr. I also should kind of pay halfway attention to what these locations are that I'm going by, and particularly if I can find Camp Rooftop, because if I can find that, then I can go west of it and get find the mushroom platform that I need for that quest. Hold on here. We actually have some other quests we could pick up over here as well, looks like. And I do have room for 1 more. Looks like there are 2 more at least. Maybe, no, 3 more now. They're up there probably. So, I'm gonna run over to this acorn lift and try to head up there and grab those quests. I'll have to clear out some more quests from other places. I'm not sure what I got this quest from. So I don't want to get rid of it because it may not be as easy to pick back up. This one's a city task, this one's an HQ, and then this one is another city task. I don't really want to get rid of those. This one is also a city task, and that is a heritage quest. These are within Next Coast Castle. I really don't want to mess around with them. Some of them have already started, and other ones I would rather keep. And then plus there's the heritage quest. So I prefer to keep those. Some of these are dropped quests, and some of them I'm in progress with. So I don't want to keep them either. Oh goodness, I'd forgotten about needing to go fix mystics. Those are there's a few in Park B. That's another heritage quest. Takes a whole minute to find something that I want to delete, and that I'm willing to delete. I can delete this one. This is a repeatable from the deputy, the sheriff actually. And that's in Riverdale. I can pick that one up again easily, so deleted that. We've got here Yoreen Skystride, the Sylvan Huntress, who says, "Welcome to the Sylvan Huntress community. The lands of Fador can be a very dangerous place. We could use your help making it safer for our people and allies. Sure, we like Ritz. Let's get Bloodhorn and Slavage." And we're going to immediately uncheck that because that won't be here. Sylvan Hunters would like for you to eliminate Bloodhorn and Slavers to further our cause. In doing so will earn your favor within our organization or with our organization. I say thank you. I'll get started right away. Now, Mysterious Traveling we want to keep. Can't really get rid of those two. Renii, how about okay, now that's a quest that you can click on something and pick it up. I could this is another one that is a static quest. You just pick it up. So I could get rid of those for the moment. I can do this janitor one definitely because it's a very easy pickup. So just do like that, and then you go pick up these other two quests over here. Since we're running around doing things here, it just makes sense to do them all at once. Alright. Selenista Rianalis, Order of the Arcane, has a quest.
Hello, well met.
She says, "Welcome to the Order of Arcane, Clemkin. We could use your assistance if you're willing to lend a hand." So she too has some city bits. Let's pick up the top one. It's Order of Arcane Collection Prognosticator. And like to eliminate collection prognosticators to further their cause. Sure. We'll accept that. She says the Order of the Arcane would like for you to eliminate collection prognosticators to further our cause. Doing so will earn you favor with our organization. I say thank you. I'll get started right away. And then we're going to remove that from the quest helper window, because that's not really one that we need to have front and center. It's just something that we can do when we get a chance. And then over here, we have Miela Marsatots, Fey language instructor.
Aren't
He
you glad
says,
to see me?
"Would you like to learn the language of the Fey?" I say yes, I would. She says our language is called Fairly, and is very similar to Fairdal, as we've lived alongside the Wood Elves for many generations. Most people who have a knack for languages pick it up very quickly. I say, how do I get started? She says, the best way to learn is by speaking with the locals. I'll teach you some basic phrases, then you go practice them with the Fae who live here in Kellican. Pretty simple, huh? I say, let's get started. All right. She says, let's begin. Curl your tongue into a U shape. La loose. Huh? La loose. See how my tongue is curled like an oak leaf? That helps build your flexibility for fairly. Practice. All right. Your first key phrase is, where is the pavilion? Say it with your tongue in proper position. Who's the Helion? I should say that's insane, but instead, I'm going to say, who's the Helion? She says, excellent. Next we'll try, where is Pelethin? Say it. Who's Pethethin? I say, who's Pethethin? She says, very good. I think you're ready to spend time talking with the locals. Head over to Giseline's pub and practice there. I say, so far all I'm doing is speaking normally, but with my tongue curled up. She says, this is laying the groundwork. Trust me, we'll learn fairly this way. Practice speaking to some of the locals in pubs. In pub, it actually says. Then come back and let me know your progress. I say, okay. Or I guess, okay. Alright. So, Giseline's pub, huh? Apparently it's right over here. Alright, excellent. Let's talk over here to Denaria Redvine.
Hi there!
She says, hello, do you need something? I say, aho ha ha maho we pertawi tweaking swuth. Yeah. She says, excuse me? Giseline, you need to stop serving this one. I say, no, I'm practicing my fairly speaking skills. She says, you are? Oh, I bet you're studying with Miela Marsatots. I say, Loth. She says, she's an excellent instructor. You're doing well. Keep up the good work. I say, Thuthu. Now we talk to Zelinder Pulamartu, who says,
Nice
can I
to
help
see
you?
ya.
I say, oh, ha, ha, we, three, biggie stuff. Oh. He says, what? I say, let me try that again. Haham, we, three, filth. He says, I'm sorry, I can't hear you above the background chatter around here. Can you repeat that, but a little louder? Haham, we, three, speaking filth. He says, yes, I have tried the fish, and it was excellent. Will you be here all week? I say, forget it. Now we have Hiva Cookman, barmaid. She says, what can I get for you? I say, Aho haham oi thoi figfus. She says, we don't carry that here. Have you tried Jolina's restaurant? I say, no, let me try again. Haham oi thoi figfus. She says, what? I say, Ahem oi thoi tweaking filth. Oi thoi oi swilth. She says, calm down. I'm sure there's an antidote somewhere. I say, I'm practicing my fairly speaking skills. She says, oh, why didn't you say so in the first place? Nice accent. Want to buy something or not? I say, no thanks. And now we go talk to Giseline Narola, the bartender. She says, what do you have? I say, with always speaking skills. He says, one of Miela's students, eh? I wish folks would stop listening to her talk about vocal exercises and all. You want to speak fairly, you need to better understand us by performing one of our rituals. I say, Thuwin he thoughts so sweet with all my young cool's. He says, am I talking with my tongue curled up? No, and neither should you. What you want to do is get in touch with the face spirit within you. If you didn't have one, You wouldn't want to learn fairly, would you? I say, I hadn't thought of it that way. He says, Tunar is the one who can guide you to learning fairly. Make an offering to her. Take the old Kelithan acorn lift and do so right at the base of Tunar's sapling over the memorial stone. It's nearly covered by the water now, but you can easily find it. I say, what kind of an offering? He says, it's my experience that Tunar likes a good ale. Here, have one in the house. Head down to Tunar's sapling and offer it up to her. That's all you need. I say, Miela said I should return to her when I was done here. He says, then go ahead and see her, but after you've presented this offering to Tunar. It can't possibly hurt you more than running around speaking that way, can it? I say, no, I suppose not. Thanks. And now I've received fairly ale. And it wants me to go to the bottom of the old Kelithan acorn. But first and foremost, I'm going to pop over here to Zephyr and turn in the Underwood Crawler's Quest. We're almost there. I just found this over this bridge and through that door. To Zephyr's house we go. Alright, Zephyr Violet here, right here.
Greetings.
Says, were you able to obtain the Underwood Crawler things for me? I say, yes, I have. You know what? I think that's why it makes me think of spiders, because she calls them fangs. I say, yes, I have. She says, this is perfect. I'll be able to produce quite a bit of antivenom with these. Once again, all I can offer you is a few coins, but I hope you can put them to good use. I say, I never turn down coin. Thanks. And of course, then she, in fact, offers us some chassis and some mail shirt. So, I shall accept this, and again, see if I can transmute these guys. I can. It's phenomenal. Alright, so let's transmute Zephyr's augmented mail shirt. Got a lapis lazuli fragment from that. And then let's transmute the chassis of the Faragal. Got the Ultron powders for that. And then still at 10 out of 250 of those. Pick up another question.
Salutations.
She says, I'm glad you stopped to chat with me. I thought of you immediately when I heard of the problem. I knew you'd be able to help. I say, help what? She says, the poor nibblers. Their habitat is becoming overrun with all sorts of predators that need your no-nonsense approach. When it's not the prowlers stalking them, it's those pesky darkened racers scaring them away from the grass they love. We need to get rid of those predators so the nibbler population can increase. I say, I can help. She says, thank you once again. I say, no problem. There we go. Those pesky predators trying to survive. They cannot have it. Cannot be. Let's see now. There's the dark and rich. What all do we need here? We need the clear out the prowlers. We need to go down and offer to Tunar the memorial stone in the water. Alright. The water is over here. So, the memorial stone, eh? And I said it was almost covered with water. There it is. Just barely broken up over here. An old stone memorial. No writing is visible upon the memorial. Let us examine the memorial. It says, the stone of the memorial marker is almost completely submerged beneath the water. No writing is visible on it. Refracting light from above undulates across the rough stone surface. I offer the ale to Tanal. The ale mixes in with the rest of the water. You're unsure whether you've done the correct thing or if this is even the correct memorial. However, a sense of accomplishment flows through you, and all doubts are swept away. And now we leave the memorial. I'll find Miela Marsatots near Giselle's pub. But first, let's go find some prowlers with a handy dandy trap and take care of those guys so that we can turn that quest in while we're up there. No sense in having to wait for that acorn lift more than necessary. Let's come get this prowler here. 1 out of 7. Blade 3. My fellow player. There's a shiny over the left. On 4 of 7 of the prowlers. Slowly but surely getting there. Not even really that slowly, honestly, just surely. Alright, let's see if we can find any more of these folks wandering around. There's a spur stalker, so we're actually out of the range, possibly, of where the prowlers go. Those are on the other side of the river. It may be that we have to wait on the cops on the prowlers. Not really sure. Seems like we probably would have gotten close enough to have seen one if there were any more over here. So let's go back the other direction and see if we run across them. Only need 2 more of them. Definitely filling up the bags. And getting another shiny out of it. And, you know, I can add a number of those shinies to my collections, and that would give me some more viewing as well in my box. Here we have another crowdle, and then we'll just do 1 more to finish out that quest. I remember this direction, it seems. These These bees in the air are big seas, which is like a bee fairy. Bee pixie way. Alright, so we got all of those that we need. Now let's hop back into what's your name? Violet hair. Something Zephyr Violet hair. So our sapling is rather large for a sapling discount. Went the wrong way to get over there, unfortunately, but that's alright. We'll go over this direction, go across the bridge, and then come back around to the sides. I see a nice, handy-dandy shiny over here. As far as the location visiting quest we have, the only places we still need to go is the Lesser Tree Dark Road and the Loving Plains Road, both of which are not difficult to get to. And when that becomes more relevant, I can just hop over there and do that. Finally made it back around to where the lift is. Definitely running low on room and roll bags at the moment, so we'll stop, I think, at the broker and throw some things on. It's a good thing I cleared out the bags earlier a little bit. Otherwise, we would have run out of room long ago. First and foremost, though, I need to stop in with Zephyr and see what she has for me.
Greetings.
She says, how's it going, Frankie? I say, we've gotten rid of those pesky predators. She says, what a relief. The forest would seem so empty without those nibblers, wouldn't it? Yet again, I am in your debt. I accept that 1 silver and 66 copper. I say, that's fine, thanks. She says, did it seem to you that there were still more predators keeping the nibblers at bay? I say, there were a few of them, yes. She says, would you mind helping out? The nibblers need the soft grass, and with those predators still around, they can't get enough to eat. I say, I'd be glad to help. How do you accept this? She says, thank you, Frankie. And I say, I'll get right to work. And it says the nibblers are afraid of the darkened racers slithering through the grass. When they don't eat, they weaken, making easy prey for the crawlers. I need to clear out some darkened racers. That's the snakes over in that area. First and foremost, I'm going to throw some things onto the broker. And it doesn't really matter to me what it is, just anything that goes on is good enough for me. I don't really know what I have on there right now, but if it stacks with something, great. If it doesn't, well, that's alright. Just need to make a little bit of room, and then I'm going to go turn in the next quest, and then I'll have to take a bit of a break to get some real life things done. Hope to be back afterwards, but you never know. Let's see. I didn't notice this top stuff, so let's do that real fast. Alright. Well. And then I have to get over to Jocelyn's pub. Wherever that may be. This way down there, I think. Look at that. Maybe I'll not fall off. Possibly. While I look for it. Who knows? Alright, we need to find yellow marshatots near Justin's pub. That's the language person. That's right. Alright, and then there's yellow. Ah, she's right over here with the blinky book. Very nice. Very nice. She says,
I'm here.
have you been practicing your Fairly skills? I say, I spoke with several Fae in Jocelyn's pub. She says, ha ha ha, oh dear, I had no idea you'd really go up and do that. Oh, my sides hurt. Ah. And I say, what's so funny? She says, I'm sorry, hardly anyone actually falls for that old trick anymore. That did me a world of good. Phew. I say, I don't think that was very nice of you. She says, oh, don't be mad at me for keeps. It was just some harmless fun. The real way to learn fairly is to, and I say, get in touch with my inner fairy spirit. She says, that's it. I'll bet Justin told you, huh? He's such a softie. Did you make the offering to Tunar? I say, yes. She says, then you're all set. I'm sorry if my little trick hurts your feelings. I'm sure later on we'll be able to laugh about it together. Over an ale. I say, we'll see. And then I accept this learning fairly reward. Alright, excellent. Alright, now I'm going to have to take off for a little bit. It has been a pleasure streaming with you guys. It's been great getting back into EverQuest 2. Having a little bit of time to do that again. It's very good. So, I will hopefully be back in on this later today. If I'm not back on this, I'll definitely be back on Watcher of Realms later today. If you're not following me, be sure to follow me so that you can turn on notifications and find out next time I go live. I'm going to take off for now, but hopefully I will see you then. Have a good time.